Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub. It is Tuesday, February 15th. Pub Sports Radio, Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham, ready for a Tuesday NBA slate. This is our third last show. We got 3 shows left, including today before the All-Star break. And then we get to go on a little Pub Hub break. We'll be off from after this Thursday's show, and we won't be back till next Thursday. So we'll have a little break, a little bit of a time to recharge our batteries, if we will, because it's always a long first half of the year. So it'll be nice to do that. Also, hopefully, it'll be nice to cash some tickets on this Tuesday night card. So let's get to it. We'll start with the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. We've got Boston right now, 1.5 2-point road favorites, 209.5 the total in this game. As far as it goes here with the Celtics, we've seen this team obviously pick things up defensively, certainly during this win streak. They've been really, really strong at the defensive end. 8 straight victories, 105-95 against Atlanta in their last game on Sunday night. We'll see, or Sunday afternoon, rather. We'll see if they can keep it up, because they are playing some serious good defense at the moment, holding the majority of their teams in the last 5 games to below 100 points. When you're doing that in the modern NBA, you're definitely doing something right. Philadelphia, back-to-back wins against OKC and Cleveland. We'll see if they can keep it going here. James Harden still not expected to make his Philly debut until after the All-Star break. So it's still going to be the same group we've seen the last couple games: Maxey, Green, Thibault, Harris, Embiid on the floor for Philly. Keep in mind, Boston tonight, Marcus Smart right now currently questionable, an illness that isn't COVID-related, but that's keeping his status somewhat in doubt for the game tonight. And same thing with Robert Williams, a calf injury, keeping him questionable. I don't want to step in front of Boston right now. I understand that Philly got a win against Cleveland. I actually lost with Cleveland. I took Cleveland against Philly, and Philly ran away with it in the second half. I'm not ready to step in front of Boston right now. I would lean Celtics. I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to bet it, but I certainly lean that way. Boston as a short road favorite here. Dutch, what do you think? Celtics, Sixers?
Yeah, man. Real quick, salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all up. Hey, be sure to hit that motherfucking like button like I'm hitting this Playing the Kush Queen. Get you right where you need to be. Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing right here. 34%. Almost as beautiful as his motherfucking background. Hey, but I can't lie, though. I like the motherfucking Celtics here. I really do. I'm not too, obviously ecstatic about the questionable tag there. And there's a lot of questionable tags on the motherfucking board today. And also, yesterday went 0-2. Not very, great day, obviously. But, with this All-Star break coming upon us, man, a lot of these motherfuckers already in vacation mode like your boy here. So what I will say is tread lightly, but let's definitely try to find some spots here and hit them over the head. I believe the Celtics are the better team right now. The 76ers are missing an awful lot. They really are. And when I look at them, after Embiid, they have no bigs, and they really don't have anyone that can consistently knock down a jumper, 3-point shot specifically, besides, of course, Moss off the bench. I mean, realistically, they have no guy. I mean, everyone on their team, I think, in that starting lineup, you would be free to go ahead and chuck it from 3. Go ahead, keep shooting, especially in Embiid's ass instead of being down there on the post, if you know what I mean. But yeah, man, the Celtics are playing real good basketball. Bobano touched on it. You don't want to step in front of it because they've been fucking damn near elite on defense. I've touched on it many times. Number 1 in defense January 1st. They won 8 straight. Last 5 games, only allowing 92 points per game, holding opponents to 30% from the field in that span. And like I mentioned, you're getting a team that's not very deep, a smaller team that I believe simply can't shoot the ball very well right now until they get their horses in there. So I think the defense will prevail here. Now, without Robert Williams and Marcus Smart, all that shit goes right out the motherfucking window, because personally, that's probably the 2 best defensive players on the fucking team. Now, the Sixers are 3-5 ATS last 8 at the house. So if you've been fading Philly at the house, betting Philly at the house, you've been losing money here, and now you're getting a hot Celtics team. They are 2-4 ATS last 6 overall. And after a cover, they're starting to feel themselves. The Sixers are 0-6 ATS last 6 after a cover. So I believe we could fade the Sixers here. Not first half, not full game, not a first quarter. The Celtics would be the better team. Let's get Smart and Robert Williams official in that lineup, and then load up on them Celtics, boys.
All right. So Dutch likes the Celtics, and I lean Celtics, but you're right. The status of Marcus Smart and Robert Williams definitely changes things if they don't go, but we don't know that yet. We'll have to wait and see closer to tip-off. Wham, how about you in this one, Boston, Philly?
Hey, man, it's me, right now, and Ibabano, Dutch, featuring whatever whales we get to see in the background,
Yeah.
man. It's really a beautiful thing out there. I just want to make sure we say something about that. That's a beautiful thing what my guy got going right now. But I agree with everything you guys are saying. It is a Celtic spot for me. I would say I was kind of thinking that the 76ers, even though they have covered 7 straight in this meeting and this matchup here, going against a team that, like you said, won 8 straight. You know what I mean? Number one in defense, and we keep talking about their defense as being really elite. So Robert Williams is somebody I did want to attack here. I did make this bet here. It was Robert Williams to have a double-double. It hit 4 of the last 5 games. So if he's in the lineup, I expect that to happen. If it comes available, that's the way I would go. Then also I did have a Marcus Smart over 5.5 assists, of course. You know what I mean? He's out the corner now. So I did take that spot there. But again, it's not available right now. So if you do like that, if you see it available, I would go that way. But I would say here, I am going to think of this being official here. I did bet this. I did take the Boston first quarter here. Over the last road games, 10 road games, they covered the first quarter, 8 out of those. And as far as the home team, 76ers, they only covered 3 of the last 10 home games. So in the first quarter. So it's definitely a good look trend there. And I believe that will capitalize tonight. So I do like the first quarter with Boston as well.
All right, good stuff. We go to Dallas, Miami. The Heat, 4-point home favorites, 209 the total. It's a bit of a tricky spot here, just on both sides. I mean, Miami, I don't want to step in front of this Miami team. I'm a big fan of this team. I've backed them a lot this year successfully. They're on a 5-game win streak, beating San Antonio, Charlotte, Washington, New Orleans, Brooklyn. Granted, not the greatest of competition. This will be a lot tougher tonight against Dallas. But I also think Dallas is in a bit of a bet-on spot, right? Off the loss to the Clippers, 99-97. They beat the Clippers in the first of the back-to-back meetings, and then they lost the second game, 99-97. We'll see if this carries over here into this game against Miami. As usual with the Heat, we've got a couple guys questionable. Tyler Hero's been ruled out for this game tonight for the Heat. Jimmy Butler is currently listed as a game-time decision, questionable with a right shoulder strain. He played 30 minutes in each of the last 3 games. He's had this shoulder issue for a bit. So if he doesn't play, look for a Max Strus, Duncan Robinson to be guys that probably end up get more playing time. They have to because they also have no hero. So there's a couple things that worry me a little bit personnel-wise with the Heat. What worries me about Dallas is, that's 2 games against the Clip. And lately, it's been a lot of Luka carrying the load. And, Brunson here and there as well has been pretty solid as well. But not a whole lot outside of that. You need more from Powell. You need more from Finney-Smith, Bullock, guys like Kleba, Josh Green, Trey Burke. These guys got to step up. Tilakina as well. You need all these guys to step up and do more. Because a lot of times it's been a lot on Luka's plate the last 2 games. He's done everything he can. 50 points in one game, 40 in the other. You need more of a supporting cast to step up if you're Dallas going into this game. It's a tough game. 2 good teams, bet on spots, I think, for both teams. Even with Miami shorthanded potentially, I don't really want to go against them, but it's kind of like Dallas. I expect them to step up, play well after the loss to the Clippers. So great game to watch, but backwood for me from a betting standpoint here with the Mavs and the Heat. Wham, we'll start with you here, Dallas, Miami.
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking that this is a Miami spot, even though Dallas is, could be possibly getting a guy in Spencer Dinwiddie that's going to be allowing these guys to play a little bit more be a more efficient there. But Tyler Hero being gone doesn't really concern me too much. I think you did touch on there, Babano. And as far as this Heat team, they have failed to cover the last 3 home games, but in this game, I believe they're going to be the better defensive team. So I guess this is more like an exotic backwood because I don't have any action on this game, and I don't know what to expect with Spencer Dinwiddie being added into the lineup, but I do expect the points to be there. So I was leaning over on this on Jimmy show, and I did write that down. But that's pretty much the only thing I was thinking.
All right, Dutch, how about you, Mavs and Heat?
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy Nets, Best, Jay, Wills, Mark, Nick, everybody in the motherfucking chat. Big salute up. Big up. Big ups, man. Hey, hit that motherfucking like button, though. Real quick like and share the video. Muchly appreciated. This man, yeah, my man touched on it. Man, he said it's exotic, man. It's exotic as a motherfucker. It's like this shit right here. But it's too bad it's in a motherfucking backwood. Real talk, because I just too many question marks, you know? Really too many question marks. I do believe Luka's playing back to Luka the motherfucking John basketball. I think that's best at some points, rebounds, and assists. Anything with Luka on it, I co-sign to that shit. Haven't looked into it too much. I broke it down because obviously I haven't had as much time as like just being real. So when I look at this game, I thought Miami would be the spot, but then you got Hero out, you got Jimmy Butler questionable. It's too many question marks. You know, I think if Jimmy's in the lineup, they find a way to win. The number seems pretty sharp. You know, I do believe Jalen Brunson will have his way. Wherever Duncan Robinson is, I mean, that motherfucker is going to get lit up. He's a defensive liability. So if I have a feeling if I bet Miami and I'm watching him, if he's guard Jalen Brunson, I'm in some fucking trouble. So maybe take a look at Jalen Brunson pops. They're going to try to hide Duncan Robinson, but they're going to rely on him more without Hero being out there because they need him to spread the court. So I don't know. I'd look for maybe a pop, whoever, you know, take advantage of Brunson. And then obviously you can't be mad at anything with Luka. But yeah, this is exotic as a motherfucker. Might find a good bar, Taco motherfucker Tuesday out here. And I have some motherfucking tequila and enjoy this one. No sweat, no sweat.
Absolutely. A good game, though. Like I say, none of us really have strong opinions, but doesn't mean it's not going to be a good game to watch. It should be with Dallas and Miami tonight. All right, Cleveland and Atlanta next up. We've got the Atlanta Hawks 1-point home favorites. 219.5 is where the total in this game currently is. I like this game over, actually, 219.5. I think that's a good bet here. Atlanta's trended over the total. 4 of their last 6 games, they've gone over in 3 straight home games at the house in Atlanta. They've been really lighting it up offensively. 121 against San Antonio, 133 against Indiana. Beat the Suns and handed the Suns one of their worst defensive games on this floor as well recently, Atlanta. So something about playing in Atlanta. This team gets their shooting going. Trae Young, Danilo Gallinari, DeAndre Hunter now, of course, back. The redheaded stepchild, Kevin Huerter, as well for the Atlanta Hawks. And it looks like Bogdan Bogdanovic is going to play tonight for the Atlanta Hawks. He was at shoot-around. He's been battling an ankle injury, but it looks like he's going to play tonight. That's going to help them offensively. Hell, that's 13 points per game in your lineup if Bogdanovic plays tonight. And as who said it in the chat? Dennis get money. Yeah, you said the other part that I was about to get to. They don't play much defense, Atlanta. No, they do not. So I think Cleveland can score their points here. Cleveland wasn't happy with the ball movement, the spacing. Bickerstaff was kind of lamenting that after the loss to Philadelphia, said the ball got stuck. And when the ball got stuck, that means it's not enough movement. It was too much ISO. It was too much individual stuff. They ended up losing 103-93. Before that, they had piled up 120 points. And if Cleveland's one of those teams, they play good defense, so that does concern you a little bit about an over. But on the road, they've been trending over. On the road, their defense hasn't been as good. Atlanta can flat out score at home. And another thing you have to factor in, when Darius Garland is available and when Darius Garland is playing for Cleveland, they're more of an over team, and obviously they're a much better offensive team. So I like points in this game. Rather than either side, I'm going to go with over 219.5 here with Cleveland, Atlanta. Dutch, what do you think here? Cavaliers, Hawks.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy JPZ. I see you, my dude. Let's see here. What game is this again? My fault.
Cavs,
Hawks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, this is exotic as a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. It's the same thing. Exotic backwood for me. If you want to bet this game, load it up on Trae motherfucking Young and Darius Garland. I think they'll go at each other. Either one of them can't stop each other. Let's be honest. So I like Garland attacking him, and I like Trae Young attacking him on the other end. Both got nice sized bigs. This is a good game right here. But yeah, exotic backwood for me. My fault.
Yeah, it should be a good guard matchup. There's no question about that. I would lean Cavs as from a side perspective. I do. I mean, Atlanta can lose at home. I mean, they were ripped apart by San Antonio in their last home game. That was and I was fortunate to cash the team total with Atlanta there. I didn't expect them to give up 136, but that's what they're capable of sometimes defensively. When that defense isn't going, teams can light them up. So yeah, I'm not looking to lay a point.
Not fried, Wills.
Bad defensive team.
My fault. You're not fried, Wills, Mr. J. Wills, man. Not fried, loaded, and that's the only way to be, motherfucker. Yeah.
He's on vacation. What do you expect, right? It's gonna be chill out and have it. You want to get right where you need to be, as he
I
says. when
voted
you're
no
on
matter where I
vacation.
go. Shit.
Yeah.
That's right.
You
Right
catch me at motherfucking Sprouts, I'll be loaded as a motherfucker buying some salmon. Fuck around. No matter where I go.
Sprouts is where it's at.
Yeah, exactly. What do you mean? Spurs lost and didn't cover last night, but they were in that game most of the way. They just let it slip in the last 5 minutes. Chicago turned it up. They couldn't stop the Bulls, and suddenly San Antonio went cold offensively. One team stepped up and made stops. The other didn't.
It
was
didn't
close
have
game,
fucking
though.
Keldon
You can't hate
Johnson
on the
in
Spurs picks. It was
the
close.
last
They were
2
in the
minutes.
game most of the way. It is what
What are
it
you gonna
is.
do?
And Chicago
Yeah.
put it away late. Chicago
Hey,
got
shout out
stopped
to
finally.
hey.
Yep.
I deserve that though, Ian. My fault. I deserve that though, because I do believe it was a long day for me, but I do believe I called out some people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so hey, good call. Good call. Y'all
Nah, they're
motherfuckers.
coming. They're
I was
clapping
on the
back.
bullshit.
They're clapping back.
Hey,
Yeah.
good call, everybody in the chat. Props to you, and let's keep it motherfucking moving.
There we go.
Right.
All right, Wham, Cleveland at Atlanta.
Yeah, this is an interesting game, of course. Exotic, like my guy would say. Cavs seek revenge. They did lose on New Year's Eve against this team, 121 to 118. And the Cavs are just pretty much over the better team. They're allowing the fourth fewest points, 98.8 to opponents in the last 5 games. This team, in that same span, the Hawks in the last 5 games, they're allowing the second highest 3-point percentage at 43.9%. So I agree with Babeno. I think the over is in play here. As far as that, I am going to take a personal prop here. Kevin Love, he needs 8 points to hit 4K for the career. I think he gets over 8 for sure, and he gets over the 12.5. So I did take Kevin Love over 12.5 points. Last time he played this team, he had 35 points, 11 in the last meeting. He doesn't even need half of that. And then over this last 5 to 7 games, he's shooting 7 3-point attempts, the most in the whole game. Last game, he come out for 0-4 day. Bounce back time for Kevin Love here against the Hawks here, where they're going to play no defense, like they said in the chat. So I like Kevin Love over 12.5 points. That's the official play for me in this game.
All right, we got in Indiana and Milwaukee now next up. Pacers, Bucks 13.5-point home favorites, 236.5 the total. In this game, the Bucks played the Blazers last night. How about losing as 11.5-point favorites, 122 to 107 against Portland last night? And I get it for the Bucks. There was no Giannis last night. He didn't play, and that was a big part of why they struggled, but should still do better than that. Against the Portland Trailblazers. Bad game for the Bucks, looking to bounce back here. Second straight game at home, though, so it's not as huge of a deal that it's a back-to-back because there's no travel. But they're banged up right now. Bembry and George Hill, Brook Lopez, Wes Matthews, Pat Connaughton, of course, is now going to be out for a long period of time, likely at least a month is what they're saying, the prognosis on him. And now Giannis will be back tonight, it looks like, off that ankle injury last night. So that's the good news. Giannis is back tonight. For Milwaukee, and they have the potential to throttle this team, but I'm probably not going to lay 13.5. It's a lot. The Bucks are in one of those positions now where they might be looking ahead to the All-Star break a little bit. That is a concern, especially with teams that are going to send some guys to the All-Star game, like the Bucks. So you just worry about laying this many points. Now, Indiana, I don't want Indiana. I know that. 0-6 straight up, 0-6 against the spread. There's no case for me to be made for the Indiana Pacers right now. Just no way, no how. But you get what I'm saying? I don't really love the idea of laying 13.5 either. So it's a pass on the side. Could only look over, and the total's already gone up in this game, 232 to 236. It's funny. Pacers made that deal with the Kings, and they brought Halliburton and Hield here to the Pacers from Sacramento, and they've learned how to play that non-existent defense that Sacramento plays in the last few games. 3 straight overs for Indiana since they got these guys from Sacramento. 249, 233, and 245 total points. Even the Bucks, they've gone over in 5 straight. And look at some of these totals. 250 again. 245, 247, 248, 229 against Portland last night. So high total, but it's high for a reason. I would still play it over at 236 here between the Pacers and Bucks. What do you think, Wham? Indy, Milwaukee?
Yeah, man. I like everything that you're saying. There's no Duarte, no Malcolm Brogdon or Turner in this lineup for the Pacers, but you got the guys that you just newly acquired in Tyrese Halliburton. I'm a fan of, and Buddy Hield here. and it activated O'Shea Brissett. I mean, now he's really scoring at a high rate. So we're going to go towards him. He's had almost about 20 points over the last few games, 18 and I believe 20 points over the last game. And in that span, the last two games where these guys played, I mean, Halliburton and Hield, they had the number 7 offensive rating. Now, it's a very small sample size. It's obviously 2 games span there, but the number 7 offensive rating was something that was a problem for this Pacers team as far as scoring. So I'm looking at this Bucks team that doesn't play that much defense. That's 3-7 ATS after with on the second half of a back-to-back without rest. I think Tyrese Halliburton and those guys push the pace just like they have been already. I think he goes over his assists, which I did see it at 8.5. I'm going to be hopping on that. That is going to be an official play for me later on. The 8.5 assists for Tyrese Halliburton. But the play that I already locked in already was O'Shea Brissett over 12.5 at -116. I think you're getting at -118 now. That's the official play for me. I think he goes over that. Even if Malcolm Brogdon is allowed in, I think he's questionable right now, which I don't think he's going to play. But even if he is in his lineup, I think he still goes over the 12.5 because he's just been hot and firing. The coaches already said that he's going to have that guy out there with Tyrese Halliburton a lot. So I like his looks that he's going to be getting. So that's the guy I'm focused on is Brissett.
15 plus points for O'Shea Brissett in 3 games here. So it's hard to argue with that. I think it's a great bet. Over 12.5 points, O'Shea Brissett. I mean, it's value because this guy's getting the minutes. He's producing 15, 18, and 22 points against Atlanta, Cleveland, and Minnesota for him in the last 3 games. Syracuse, that's where he played his college basketball. It was a few years ago now, but he was on some good Syracuse teams that made a run in the NCAA tournament. So O'Shea Brissett now having some success in the pros. Dutch, what do you think, Pacers, Bucks?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy THC Bridger. Bang, bang. I see my dude, Star Child. Eric Jones. Yeah, man. I'm out here in Hawaii, man. Just trying to kick back, bro. That's it. All right, back with this motherfucker, though. Big Show, you got to do something. Press the motherfucking button. Yeah. Appreciate
There
you.
it is.
Shout out to the Big Show. Everybody follow him on Twitter.
Shout out
doing
to
everything. Golf, all the motherfucking things. UFC. Be sure to follow him. And he be putting in that work here. So that's worth follow along.
He bets a little bit of everything. He appears on multiple shows, multiple sports, produces multiple shows behind the scenes. So he's a man that is multifaceted. Big Show, doing great work as always. All right, we've got Memphis and New Orleans. We got the Grizzlies 4.5-point road favorites, 228 the total in this one. Pounded my head against the wall, and I have the Pelicans to blame for my best bet streak coming to an end. Last night had to end at some point. We weren't going to go 80-0 the rest of the season on the Pub Hub with the best bets, but had to end at some point, and it ended last night with the Pelicans blowing out the Raptors last night. So the streak ends at 11 straight best bet winners. 2 weeks though undefeated. That's something I'm damn proud of. I went 2 full weeks on this show without losing a best bet. So I'm proud of the run. Hopefully start a new one. Stay tuned for that with best bets at the end of the show. As far as this game goes, I'm going right back to that damn well against the Pelicans tonight with the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, Memphis is one of those teams that we've not seen them look ahead to the All-Star break yet. They're pedal to the metal. They continue to win games. They continue to cover numbers. 5-0 straight up, 5-0 against the spread, 8-1 straight up, 8-1 against the spread going back to their last 9 games. New Orleans did take advantage of the Raps last, especially inside. I mean, they had no answer for JV. JV kind of punished them early in that game and gave the Pelicans that big lead. Now it's a back-to-back for the Pelicans. It's a rested Grizzlies team with 2 days off after the win against Charlotte. They play at home against Portland tomorrow night. So, not much of a look ahead. And as far as this game is concerned, John Morant, the big question, game time decision. But you know what? I think he's going to play. I know he had that injury in Saturday's win against Charlotte, but he returned to that game. He finished that game. If he finished that game with the ankle issue, he probably will play tonight. Now, they do play back-to-back, so do they figure we'll rest him here? I can't see them resting him here because New Orleans, I think I'd rather have him against New Orleans than Portland tomorrow night. But, I still think Jaw's going to play. And obviously, it's important that he's in there with the way he's played. But the Pelicans are not a team I trust to follow up one good game with another. That's why they've been inconsistent. They don't have a great track record on the second of back-to-back games. Certainly, this is a much stronger opinion if Ja Morant plays, but I do expect him to play. And the line is ticked up. All right. The line has moved up in the last little bit. So it might be a telltale sign that John Morant is going to suit up tonight. But either way, I like the Grizz here, -4.5 in this one. Dutch, what do you think? Grizz, Pelicans.
Yeah, shout out to our guy, I Money, liking the Grizzlies first quarter -1.5. Probably saw a look at, man. But, man, I looked at this game and I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to even get out, to be honest with you. I kind of like the Pelicanos here. I really do. I kind of do. Obviously, the back-to-back situation isn't ideal. But, then John Morant being questionable. You believe he plays. I hate this guessing fucking game, But it's like you really want to get Hugo with the Pelicanos here. But the Grizzlies, they have trouble with them. They really do. And the Pelicans been playing a little bit better ball since they got CJ. And it wasn't too difficult. It was kind of a cruise control game against the Toronto Raptors yesterday. Like we had touchdown, they're pretty much on vacay mode. Now, the Grizzlies are 0-5 ATS last 5 in New Orleans, 0-7 ATS last 7 meetings, 1-6 straight up last 7 versus the motherfucking Pelicanos. So something about these Pelicans, they fucking they hit the Grizzlies, The Grizzlies are 6-2 ATS against the number last 8, 6-2 ATS last 8 in conference against the number. So I believe the Pelicanos might be the play here. I haven't had them bet it yet. I believe I'm going to get a better number once Jaws obviously announced in. And the back-to-back situation's a little suspect. So maybe first half look here. But like I mentioned, the fuckery's in with this All-Star break coming soon. So I could definitely see the Pelicanos doing something here. But it's hard to step in front of the Grizzlies. I mean, look at the ATS, look at everything. And they could easily be up by 25. You'd be like, why the fuck did I overthink it, So the Grizzlies do handle business. And, if Jaws out there, I might have to stay off of it.
Yeah, definitely. It's been impressive, actually, the way they've had this just every game. Like we're waiting for a letdown. We're waiting for what the Raptors did last night. We're waiting for that from Memphis. Where's the bad game? Where's the clunker? Where's that spot where you lay an egg? And you just don't have it. We have not seen it yet for the Memphis Grizzlies during this great run that they've had. But Desmond Bane's been terrific. He had 25 points again in the win against Charlotte. That's a guy that's been just, everyone talks John Morant, rightfully so. Don't sleep on the Desmond Bane contributions to making this Memphis Grizzlies team as good as they've been. He's a big part of it as well. Wham, what do you think here, Memphis and New Orleans?
Yeah, man, I'm thinking about sprinkling on the Desmond Bane 3-point contest there. Sounds like a good idea there, but CJ McCollum is definitely going to be a look for me in that contest for sure. But to this game here, the Grizzlies, it just doesn't seem like they know what to do against the Pelicans. I mean, they just been getting owned by the Pelicans in these matchups, man. 6 straight meetings they lost and didn't cover against this team. Like this, that's not good, bro. I mean, 5 out of 6 straight up, but 6 straight losses. I mean, in the covering department, I mean, that's why I'm trying to make my money here. And if you can't do that, I don't know. Ja may be in and may still have a problem here because the Pelicans, like, I like the look. If we're going to bet against the Grizzlies, does this other team hold opponents in the paint? I mean, that's pretty much how I'm looking at it. And they actually do. They holding opponents to 44 points in the paint over the last 5 games. The Pelicans ranked 4th in the league. So I kind of would think towards the Pelicans here. That's the reason why I'm off this. This is probably going to be a bad look because I don't have no action here. But I would say the way I'm looking towards the Memphis Grizzlies, it got to be first quarter. They covered 7 of the last 10 road games in the first quarter. And at the house, this other team, as far as the Pelicans, they haven't covered. They only covered 3 of the last 10 at the house in the first quarter. So you definitely have a trend there that you could probably ride with Memphis first quarter here.
All right, Memphis first quarter. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I like those trends. If they've been cashing for you, I say you keep riding it until it loses. That's usually what I do with those streaking trends. All right, next up, Charlotte, Minnesota. We've got the Timberwolves, 6.5 point home favorites, 244. How about this total? 244. That is a mammoth total between these two teams. And you understand why the total is where it is. Say what you will about the Timberwolves, and I've liked this team for a large part of the season. I do not like their defense right now. It's not been great for the Timberwolves at that end of the court. 4 straight overs. They did beat the Pacers 129-120, but early in that game, they were letting the Pacers get whatever they wanted. They did tighten up in the second half, which allowed them to win and cover, but still not a great defensive performance. Chicago ripped them apart. 134 points they scored, the Bulls, against Minnesota. Sacramento puts up 132 against them. So definitely they've had their defensive shortcomings, 9-1 to the over in their last 10, but their offense has been outstanding. And obviously now the Timberwolves have all their pieces on the floor at the same time. Beverly, Russell, Edwards, Vanderbilt, Towns. And when you see that starting five out there, they're becoming a very, very tough team to stop at the offensive end of the floor, just inside, outside balance. And it's not like this Charlotte team is going to stop anybody at this point in time either. They just gave up 125 in a loss to the Grizzlies. The Detroit game went over the total. They gave up 121 and more than 50% shooting to the Bulls. Same thing against the Raptors, almost 50% shooting. They give up 116 in that game. So their defense has lacked a lot. So has Minnesota's. You can clearly make a case for points in this game, but can you make a case for this many points? Last three meetings have gone over, but the one was 234 for total points in the game. The second meeting was 237 total points in the game. The most recent meeting in November did go over this number, 248 total points in that game. So, yeah, to me, I don't want the under. It would only be the over, but here's the problem. It's 244. It's extremely high. It's going to be close. I think it's going to be, hit or miss. It's going to be probably fall right close to the number. Think about it, 242. If you get that total points, it stays under. That's the scary part when you're talking about a total of 244 in this game. As far as the side goes, I'm going to take Minnesota as well. 6.5. I know I don't like laying points with teams that are struggling defensively. That's not normally something I do, but Charlotte's just unbackable right now. They're just on a massive slide. There it is, the Timberwolves sound. 2-8 against the spread. They're 1-7 straight up their last 8 games. The only win was against Detroit for this Charlotte team in their last 8 games. So I still think the Timberwolves can take care of business and cover by margin. So Wolves -6, and I'll lean over the total as well. Dutch, what do you think here? Charlotte, Minnesota.
Yeah, man. Star child, man. I'm seeing what you're seeing. I'm on the Hornets 6.5. I'm on the opposite side here, Bobano. I think maybe even this was last week. We were on the show and you said that the Wolves are way better than the Hornets, and I said I think they're kind of more even matched, to be honest with you. I just feel like they're the same team. Really, they really are. So if you're gonna give me 6.5 points, LaMelo, Rozier, these boys, I think they could probably win this game outright, to be honest with you. And yeah, the Hornets, they've been up and down real streaky of late, and like we touched on it, they're kind of a one-on-one basketball team. But I believe you're getting almost the same thing here with the Timberwolves. I think this will be a close game, and I think the Hornets will probably win this game, like I just mentioned. Now they are 4-0 ATS last 4 as a road dog. 4-0 ATS last 4 on 2 days rest. And now they've had their way with the Timberwolves. This is kind of like the Pelicans Memphis. It's the same thing. Like I mentioned, I think these guys are literally the same fucking team. It's Miles Bridges, Edwards. You got some guards with, Russell Beasley, and then you got down low. Obviously, I'd probably take Towns over anything you got down low. But, PJ can get hot. These motherfuckers, and Towns is streaky as fuck as well. But yes, the 4-0 ATS last 4 meetings versus these boys. 5-2 ATS last 7 in Minnesota. So they travel well to many. Now they're 3-0 straight up last 3 meetings versus these boys. Average win 19 points per game, shooting 52% from the field. Minnesota got nothing for them. You touched on it, Ian. Their defense doesn't look very good, and they got a lot of offensive weapons over there on Charlotte. So don't let them get hot because they'll run motherfucking Minnesota out the gym. You're going to give me 6.5. I'll take it all day. I'll look to fade, the Minnesota Timberwolves and take a competitive game, I believe. And I'm counting on LaMelo, Rozier, Miles Bridges, and these guys to do something. Brady come off the bench, get a little bit. They got Harold now to beat around a little bit, get some more rebounds. They came back in a competitive game against Memphis after getting blown the fuck out and only lost by. So, they show that they still have a little bit of heart. But try to move the ball a little bit. Try to create team good basketball shots. Not everything has to be one-on-one, but I believe we'll see it on both sides.
All right, liking Charlotte plus the points. The one thing you're getting with Charlotte is you are getting value in the number. Now, whether that means they're going to cover a number or cover a point spread remains to be seen, but you're getting the value because they've been so bad lately. and they've been a point spread disaster. So you're getting more points than normally you would. Like normally, if Charlotte's playing good basketball, Minnesota's probably a 3-point favorite in this game. They're not 6.5. So that's definitely truth to that. You're getting some value in the number. And the one thing I'll give Charlotte I'll cut them some slack. They've been playing poorly, but you look at all the recent losses: Boston, Cleveland, Miami, Toronto, Chicago, Memphis. A lot of pretty good teams, right? It's not like they've been losing to the Sisters of the Poor. They've been playing some pretty good basketball teams during that stretch. So we'll see if that they just cannot dig yourself a 31-point deficit at halftime like they did against Memphis and expect to win. I don't know what James Borrego has got to do with the pregame speeches, but you got to do something different. You got to do something better to get your team better ready than that. That was absolutely dreadful. Charlotte coming out in that game against Memphis that way. They need a better start. That goes without saying. That's putting it mildly. What do you think here, Wham, with Charlotte, Minnesota?
Yeah, man, I think Borrego is a clown, man. Just stupid as fuck, bro. But I will say this though, they do respond a little bit better offensively on the road, shooting 37% from three this season. As far as what they've been doing lately, 34%. The Charlotte Hornets, I still kind of would agree with Dutch though. I believe that the Charlotte Hornets +6 is the side, just because you think they're going to get it close, keep it close. Both of these teams are going to score a lot on each other. Both of them have been allowing opponents 128 over the last 3 games. Minnesota, 121 for the Charlotte Hornets. Both of these just up in the crazy. I mean, that's over the total right there, just as far as their defense there. And as far as the offense, I think the offense will be in this spot. I don't have an action on this game, but the only way I'm looking here is Charlotte.
All right, lean into Charlotte. There's our guy, Jay Money. There he is. I sent you the link, my friend. I thought you either ditched us or you had some technical issues or your internet went down or something. He's got a sore throat, so there we go. Feel better, my friend. Feel better. We'll see you on a Tuesday after the All-Star break. You can join us on the show the next time we have a Tuesday show. Hopefully that throat feels better soon. But there he is, Jay Money. We'll get him back. He'll be on Tuesdays after the All-Star break with us here on the NBA Pub Hub. So good. It's at least good you're doing all right. All right, next up, we've got final game of the card here. Clippers and Suns. Phoenix, 13-point home favorites, 222 the total in this one. It's a lot of points. I mean, it is. And Clippers and the Suns played in the Western Final last year, of course, as well in the postseason. So they got a little history with that going into this game. Now, they have played twice already this season. And it was both teams split the 2 games, 111-95. Clippers won at home. Suns drilled the Clippers 106-89 in the rematch in Phoenix. So we'll see how this one goes. But let's give the Clippers their due. 2 straight wins against good teams, Dallas and Golden State, winning outright as underdogs. It is a back-to-back spot for the Clippers, 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th game in 6 nights. So there are concerns there with that. Phoenix has had 2 days off. I mean, it's a huge, huge rest advantage for Phoenix. 2 days off. I still think it's a lot of points, and the Clippers always, I think, want to show up against the Suns, knowing that the Suns sent them packing in the playoffs last year. Tough game, really is. But I'd take the points before I lay the points. And the Suns, think about it, with Chris Paul and Booker and Ayton and a lot of all-star bound players on that team. Are their heads really locked in to, absolutely kill and murder the Clippers tonight by a big margin? I'm not so sure about that. So I don't love the game, but I'll lean Clippers here, +13. Dutch, what do you think here, Clippers, Suns?
Yeah, man. Big Show just informed. Come on, man. We ain't hit our Mando yet. Come on now. I know it was a rough day yesterday, but let's hit that motherfucking like button like we about to hit these motherfuckers straight over the head. We're gonna get right. Tombstone Tuesday, and we out for motherfucking blood. It's only right that we get right. Yeah, man. Backwood this motherfucker though.
All right, there you go. Backwood for Dutch with Clippers and Suns. As far as the lineups, by the way, it's still Payne and Kaminsky and Saric and Shamet out. Same cast of characters that have been out for a while for them. Clippers, no change either. Kennard's a game time decision, and of course, still no PG3, no Norm Powell as well. He's still out for the Clippers. So again, that's a guy that's really going to help them at both ends of the court, especially defensively. And no Norm Powell once again tonight for the Clippers in this one.
I think everybody is a little upset that Jay Money didn't come, and that's understandable. Hey, but motherfucker got a sore throat. What are you gonna do? So get well soon, my guy. Drink a lot of aqua.
Yeah,
get some apple cider vinegar in you.
He's not going to help.
Somebody in the chat said smoke a blunt. Yeah, somebody in the chat said smoke a blunt. Don't do that. That might have been what happened. You hit fucking around in the back with once or twice and woke up with that shit. That's what happens. Only hit the planes, bro. I know you noticed. Let's do it, my man.
It's no good for him to be on the show if the dude can't talk. You realize that, right? You know, it's
These people wild as fuck.
What's he gonna do? Just sit there on the screen and look good for you? That's it.
Shout out to my guy. He said Son should play defense. Yeah, man. I think so too, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Wham, what do you think of this one?
Man, someone in the chat said the Clippers are 3-6, ATS straight up, no rest, off of back-to-backs. I think the Suns will play defense, like my guy J Money did allude to in the chat. It just seemed like could be a very it reminds me of what happened yesterday with the Jazz. It was a clear spot where they should be able to take advantage and cover this big spread. Shouldn't be scared of it and just fire on it. That's kind of exactly the vibes I'm getting from here. I talked to you guys about yesterday. I thought the Clippers had a chance. They ended up winning the damn game, and that had a lot to do with Golden State, though, for me at least. Had all to do with Golden State, not exactly what the Clippers have been doing, especially without Norman Powell. I think eventually it's going to catch up to him. So I do think the the Suns, maybe an addition I may make later on tonight.
All right, there we go. Great stuff with Dutch and with Wham, the Tuesday NBA card. Just 2 shows left after today before the All-Star break. So get it in while you can. And then we'll have to recharge our batteries, and we'll be back next Thursday after this Thursday on the NBA Pub Hub. But great stuff. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. As always, 290 live viewers right now. Hit the like button. Make sure you do that if you haven't done so already. We'll wrap up the show in just a couple of minutes with Dutch's freshest look and best bets. It's coming up. Commercials just okay. The commercial stopped prematurely. All right. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Get 20%. No, MyBookie, that's the last one. Southtown 101. See, it's totally screwed up the script here. Southtown 101, San Antonio.
My bad, dude. I switched the brands and it just switched everything, and it just stopped the commercial. My bad.
That's all right. All good. All right, let's recalibrate. Back up. Back up. Southtown 101, San Antonio, Texas. Make sure you stop in there. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase. Lawnmower 4.0 or any Manscaped product at 20% off with promo code PubSports. And MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Again, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC on weekends. Still lots going on. I know football's over, but there's still lots going on. So make sure you sign up for an account. MyBookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit as well. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. And get that pub rub. $14.99, 2 for $25. Check it out on the website, along with all the merch on the website as well, pubsportsradio.com. All right, best bets. I got to start a new streak. 11-0 is history. It's old news. We got to try to start a new best bet streak starting today. Wham, we'll start with you. What do you like for best bet? Yep, you're muted.
I was muted. All right, so we're going to go to the A-Town. We're going to go to the A-Town here, where I expect the Valentine's Day to still linger on and give us some love. Kevin Love over 12.5 points. Gets that 14K with the 8 points. Keeps going, keeps shooting. Gets 7 attempts again tonight, where he's averaging over six games. Let's get it, man. Kevin Love over 12.5.
I don't even care if it's just spontaneous or whether it was scripted and planned or what, but the lyrics from Dutch and Wham on this show with introducing their best bets are really, really good. They're really strong. They bring it. That's pretty damn good, Wham. I'll admit that. Even after Valentine's Day, we're still bringing the love. Kevin Love for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Best bet right there for Wham. That's impressive. That deserves an A+. If I was a teacher,
Yeah,
giving
you know what that means?
students
That means you gotta
grades.
step the game up with Bobano. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? You can't just give out winners. No,
that's
we
right.
need to step our shit up. You keep doing
Got to
what
be
you
the
doing, my
wordsmith
guy.
to go with it.
Yeah, man.
100%.
Nah,
Well,
you been
Dutch,
killing it.
here's your chance. Freshest look.
Yeah, man. Precious look. Oh yeah, both a little up there. Hey, Precious look, bro. We're going to Minnesota, and real talk, man. I'm glad as fuck we ain't really going to Minnesota because I'm sure it's cold as a motherfucker. But yeah, man, we're going on a Hornets 6.5. That's good money.
Yeah, you go to
Sweet.
Minnesota wearing that right now, Dutch. You're going to die from hypothermia or some shit. You know?
Yeah, man. Fuck all
It's
that
all
shit.
bad.
I'll never go to Minnesota.
Not at this
Never.
time of year, that's for damn sure.
I never go
Charlotte,
there. Why the fuck did I go to Minnesota? Fuck.
Charlotte plus 6.5. 6.5 is actually what it is. We'll give you 6.5 here. Charlotte Hornets, freshest look for Dutch in this one. All right, best bet. Time to start a new streak. 11 straight. It got snapped last night. Time to bounce back and start a new best bet streak tonight. Let's go with Cleveland, Atlanta, over 219.5. I like that one quite a bit. Hawks have been an over machine at home. Hawks have been scoring in bunches at home. Hawks aren't a great defensive team by any stretch, though. And Cleveland, on the other hand, their offense is a lot better with Garland on the floor. And their defense has not been nearly as good lately, and especially on the road, Cleveland's defense has not nearly been as good. So I think we get enough points there in that game. Cleveland, Atlanta, Cavs, Hawks over 219.5 for my best bet on this Tuesday NBA card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub Hub. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. We appreciate it. 312 live viewers. Hit the like button on the way out. We got Net Profit, college basketball with Connor Maxwell Smart, coming up at the top of the hour, 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on Pub Sports Radio. For Dutch and for Wham, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will talk to you again tomorrow on Wednesday. Our last show with Ski before the All-Star break tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, right here, the NBA Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. And Dutch, live and in color from Hawaii, take us home.
Oh, you muted.
Oh,
That was perfect.
he's had it all lined up, too.
You still
He's
muted.
still muted. Dutch, you're killing us here. Come on.
Hey, man, it's bright as fuck out here. Hey, my fault. Hey, there we go. Hey, man, I should have kept my ass down. You stand up and it hits me even harder. Hey, y'all motherfuckers know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. You know, so be sure to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe if you have not. Stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.